I never thought that I would be making one of these videos. This is completely unscripted. I'm just saying whatever comes to mind and how I'm feeling. I apologize if this video goes long, and I apologize if there's screaming or crying or if you hear stuff in the background. I'm sorry. So it has recently come to my attention that in one of reitanna seishin's long-ass rants, or Lars, she shamed a victim of psychological abuse and rape. Before I go any further, I'm just going to put out a trigger warning that if you are uncomfortable with forms of abuse and sexual shit and rape, do not continue. So reitanna watched a series of a YouTuber, a quite popular YouTuber, detailing her experience being groomed and then later raped by a pedophile. She was groomed and pressured into doing sexual acts from the time that she was 13 to the time that she was in college when she was eventually raped. reitanna will like to say that it is her fault. Not her fault that she got raped, but her fault that she was pressured into sexual misconduct and the abuse and etc. because the relationship was online and she could have walked away. I knew exactly what series she was talking about when she talked about this. And it made me physically sick that she said these kind of things. This person, he groomed this YouTuber from 13 all the way to the point when she was in college to get child pornography from her, pictures of herself that she was uncomfortable with. She was groomed, gaslighted, and then later raped. She claims to have She says that her defense mechanisms were turned quickly into Stockholm Syndrome, which is very, very applicable in this situation. Just to express how angry this makes me, I'm literally shaking. When I was 15, I was groomed. I was groomed by someone who was 21, online. He had personal information of mine. He had personal information of mine that he threatened to dox if I didn't send him pictures of myself. How did he get these? A child being dumb, an IP grabber. Ever since then, I've used a VPN. I eventually gave in after nights and nights and nights of begging after he confirmed that he had all of these things on me. And when I thought it was finally done, he messaged me for days on end, demanding I give him more. And if I didn't, he would send the photos to all of my friends. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I felt trapped and alone. I felt like I couldn't tell anybody about what was going on with me. There were so many sleepless nights I had because of what happened to me. I had to change everything. completely change my identity online, get whole new accounts for everything, and just try to avoid him as much as possible, but he always comes around and figures things out. Luckily, it's been 2 years now, and he hasn't found me yet, but the fear is always there. And I tried telling him every time he would threaten these things, I said you could go to jail for distributing TP. But he just said that he didn't care. And that if he ever was caught, he would just kill himself. I felt like I had no power. And it was an awful feeling. And then the same thing later happened in real life. With a different person. With my ex-boyfriend, I commonly refer to as the bad man. He would emotionally manipulate me into staying with him, just like the pedophile did to this YouTuber. He would threaten suicide if I tried to leave him. He would call me names if I didn't do exactly or thought or acted exactly the way he wanted. He controlled who I hung out with and who I talked to. He guilted me for sex, and he even told me that when I was raped during the relationship with this abusive person. And he told me that it was my fault. And there was things I could have done to prevent it. And to hear Ray say that this YouTuber's grooming and abuse and eventual rape was her fault crushes me inside. Because that is exactly what my ex-boyfriend and people who believed him at the time told me every day. Thank you, I'm sorry, my boyfriend's here, he's just giving me a hug. And this abuse only occurred less than a year ago. Just over 6 months. And I'm still broken over it. You cannot victim blame, because you make the problem worse. You tout the fact that you block negativity from your life, Ray. You tout the fact that you do that because your anxiety and your depression cannot handle it. Well, imagine what people like me and that YouTuber feels like when you say things that the abuse was our fault. I don't care if it was in real life or online. Abuse is abuse. You need to watch what you say before you say things. Things that you say come off as insensitive, rude, and cruel. I hope you think about that.